Man and Machine is brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.
Unbelievable! Now we're talking. Welcome to Man and Machine with the Barmedman Modified Tractor Pull. It's actually round 2 of the Australian Tractor Pull Association's National Championship. If you like massive power, torque and screaming engines, then this is the show for you. So you'll get to see drivers pilot these big heavy beasts like the gladiators that they are, cutting a huge amount of weight down a 100-metre dirt strip to see who can get the furthest distance. It's going to be loud, fast, powerful and exciting, so sit tight, you're going to love this event. Beside me here is one of the key elements in tractor pulling competition. See this weight box here? This baby holds 12 tonne. It's connected to this sled, which is actually winched and pulled all the way down to the end of the sled where it hooks onto the tractor during the 100-metre run. What we have here is this great big steel sled unit here. This baby is pressed on the ground by all of that 12 tonne of weight. So I want you to think about this. You've got 12 tonne in that weight box. You've got all the weight of this massive sled here right on the back of that tractor. That poor tractor has got to drag all that weight down to the end of that 100-metre strip. Now that's what I call a test for driver and engine. Well, this is where it all happens, the business end of this event, this 100-metre dirt strip. This is where these wild and powerful machines hook up to that big sled and try their very best to drag it down to that 100-metre mark. And believe me, some of them don't even get there. There's a lot of work goes into keeping this track prepared here by the Barmedman crew. You've got to make sure that tractors can hook up properly and get traction and steer straight down this strip. They've got to fill things like potholes, they run a smudger up and down it all day long. They keep moisture on the strip also to make sure that the tractors have got perfect traction. But this is something you've got to look out for. This. What can actually happen during the course of this event is the heat beaming down from the sun on the track and the wind actually dry out the top surface, creating this crusty-like effect. That's not so bad for the big tractors, they're very heavy and they'll still hook up. But the smaller tractors, they'll just wheel spin like hell on this stuff like concrete. So they've basically got to keep the track perfect for the whole event. And generally the track gets much, much better towards the end of the event. So at night time, it's absolutely superb. And these things hook up and sing like you wouldn't believe. Well, here's a machine that looks like it means business. We're with Richard Williams here and Murray Muncher. Richard, tell us about this beast.
Well, this old girl was built about 25 years ago, probably a bit more. She's got a V12 Allison in her out of an old Air Cobra fighter plane, and she puts out probably 15 to 1800 horsepower now, I suppose, yeah. But anyway, good bit of fun.
So has it been modified over standard?
Not really, no, just a few more revs. Yep, everything's pretty well the way it came out of the plane, yep.
There's definitely no shortage of exhaust pipes, is there, mate?
No, that's right, yeah, plenty of them, yep.
And what sort of results have you had with this machine in the past?
I did win the whole event in 2006.
And what's she like to drive down that strip?
Oh yeah, it gets pretty wild at times, yeah. If the track's a bit heavy, she can throw you around a bit, but yeah, no, it's good fun.
Well, we're with Tony Zacchi here and his machine, She'll Be Right. Tony, tell us about this beast, mate.
Oh, well, we've been running probably for 7 years now. We sort of got the finer details of it worked out. We sort of are reasonably competitive and getting a few wins, so which is good. Yeah, we run a Ford 351 through a Crowell clutch, through a Road Ranger and into Ford 4000 rear end. So
she's a 351 Cleveland, mate.
Yep. She's got a few horses there. We haven't had it tested, but they're saying it's about 550. So the more horsepower you got, the bigger the bang when they break.
That's it, mate. I noticed you've got the big 4V heads on the old cast iron heads. And what sort of RPM do you turn it to?
Oh, the chip's in it at 7.6. That sort of gets there pretty easy, and it's got a high cam in it, which doesn't really start working to $5,000. Once you hit that, she's off like, hang on.
Well, we're here with Disorderly Conduct, and Matt Reeves, the man here that's going to drive this machine. Matt, tell us about it.
I was just come from America 2 weeks ago. First run out, so we'll see how it goes.
Tell us about the power plants, mate. There's two of them.
2 small block Chevs, about 1,300 horsepower. Should be good bit of fun.
So we're effectively talking 650 horsepower each.
Per engine, yeah, yep, 650.
Wow, and what sort of carbs are they running on top?
Methanol, all methanol carbies.
So they'll definitely help in the breathing department.
Yeah, we'll get a bit of fuel in and a bit of air, yeah.
And what does something like this run as far as drivetrain goes?
Turbo 400 auto and a tractor rear end.
Mate, well, it sounds good. Get out there and give it heaps.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think I found a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing here. We're with Brian Ostergaard and his John Deere. Brian, tell us about this machine.
Yeah, this is actually the first Pro Stock that was built in Australia in 1998. It's still running standard parts in the engine. Yeah, and it's developing, close to 1,000 horsepower.
Wow, tell us about that engine.
Well, it's a 7.6 litre John Deere engine, which originally came out of a 4430 John Deere tractor, 165 horsepower standard. And also the transmission is also out of a 4430. With the transmission, we have put a Profab gear kit in it so to get some different ratios to go faster.
Fantastic. So that's a real testament for the John Deere engine.
Yeah, it is, yeah, and it's held together well.
What sort of torque?
Well, I'm not sure what sort of torque. We never had it on a dyno, but at the last race meeting we were at, we blew up all our turbo gauges at 100 psi. So we put some bigger gauges on, so we will see what the pressure is today, hopefully.
Shannons Club, a hub for motoring enthusiasts. So join, create your own garage, share pics, videos and stories of your current and past machines, connect with other enthusiasts. Be sure to watch Shannons Club TV with a host of dedicated motoring channels, including past episodes of Man and Machine. So jump on board with Shannons Club. I'll see you on there. Interested in finding your very own piece of farm machinery? Check out farmmachinerysales.com.au for a massive range of machinery and parts. It's so easy to find your next machine. Just head to farmmachinerysales.com.au, pick your favourite category or select by make, model and more to find the perfect item for you.
Flat stick with Murray Hynam here. Murray, tell us about this beast.
Yeah, Glenn, listen, this is a limited modified tractor. We got a 350 Chevrolet motor, Crowd clutch and Oliver 88 tractor back end and gearbox. So originally about a 40 horsepower vintage tractor back end that we've been running as virtually the back end is the original back end. This tractor was originally built by my brother and my father in 1982. I was 12 years old, so this tractor's part of our family. I rebuilt it when I was 20 years old in 1990. So, it's been running continuously, virtually as we see it now, apart from a few changes since then, so 23 years straight. The original tractor was built for $600. Same back end, littler tyres, $100 Chrysler 318 motor at the time. The whole thing cost $600. So
amazing.
In 1982. So things have changed a bit. We've stuck with our class. It fits our budget and what we do. We've got a great group of competitors. We have a lot of fun. And listen, we love it. It's part of the family. Here she is. We're still going. We love it. We've driven 680 kilometres from home to be here today. A great event, great people.
We've found a mean machine here, a 427 powered tractor called Stampede. With Gary Johnson, mate, tell us about this machine.
It's an open MIDI modified. I run a 427 big block Chev in it. It's on alcohol, 1471 supercharger with an Enderley Bird hat. We've got port nozzles in the top of the hat and going into the ports as well to get the mixtures right so it lasts a bit of a time. But I'm trying to push the power out of it pretty well. We've got it 20% overdriven at the moment. We think we're making around 1,400, maybe 1,600 horsepower out of it. The worst problem, it's a stock block, We've got a few bits welded in and grouted up to try and keep it together. We run a magneto ignition system, just a power glide transmission, everything aftermarket in it of course. A Dana 60 back end with an open wheel centre, and we use turning brakes to turn it, which makes it exciting with the hand throttle and one hand on the steering wheel trying to keep it straight. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It gets me excited with the motor in front of me hazing and carrying on and twisting up, so you can really feel the power underneath you.
Well, mate, she looks like she's going fast standing still, but thanks very much for talking to us and look forward to seeing how she goes out there.
Thank you very much.
Well, here's a very exciting machine, Blown Income. Owned and driven by Brett Harris here. Brett, give us a rundown on this machine.
Yeah, Glenn, it's a 540 cubic inch Hemi TFX, SES gearbox, Dana 60 with a TRB diff, and yeah, it's a purpose-built tractor pulling tractor.
Mate, what sort of power she make?
Hopefully we've just ran that last run around 2,500 horsepower, but hopefully we can crank it up to about 3,000 tonight.
She's certainly an immaculately prepared machine.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time. Yeah, it's just a toy.
A very powerful toy.
Yeah, that certainly is, yeah.
Well, we're with Tom West here and his tractor that's appropriately named Tommy's Toy. Mate, tell us about this machine.
Well, I've been building it for 4 years and yeah, bought the engine off a bloke from Werribee, 454 big block with a power glide and a Dana 60 diff. And yeah, it's putting out about 600 horsepower and 580 foot-pound of torque. And,
The blower had helped that a fair bit, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, it's good. I run it at Denny and had an awesome time, and yeah, no, can't wait to have a go today.
And as far as driving these things down that strip, what have you got to be careful of when you're running down there? Or do they tend to sort of move around a fair bit on you?
No, being a chrome molly chassis, it'll just, yeah, she just tracks straight as a gun barrel, and yeah, just launch her into it and yeah, hang on, have fun.
Well, we're with Brendan Cornfoot and his mean machine Wicked Whitetail. Mate, tell us about this beast. It's an absolute weapon.
It's a John Deere 7810 tractor, 510 cubic inch, 980 horsepower, 3-speed gearbox, John Deere differential, water injected, 3.5 inch turbo, 24 foot, 100 foot of torque at the back wheels. Yeah, no, she's a big tractor.
That's enough to pull about 3 buildings down, mate.
I haven't tried that yet.
And what sort of boost do you run into an engine like this?
About 12 boost, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 3,500 off the line, and by the time we get to the end, we're about $6,000. Yeah, we're hoping to get it up around 1,200 horsepower, the engine, maybe do a rebuild in the next 12 months or so, yeah.
Mate, she certainly looks the part. It's almost a little bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't like to be the sheep.
Neither would I. So, guys, tell us about this machine. Tell us about the engines.
Well, it's three 327 Chevs with two speed power glides into a transfer case out to the rear wheels.
So what sort of horsepower do you think these engines would be making combined?
I had a guess about 900 to 1,000 horsepower.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
And are you looking forward to getting in this beast and driving it?
Yeah, mate, yeah, can't wait. Test it out and see how it goes.
So here's the other beast, Brendan. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, Black Betty, it's got a 350 Chev and power glide and 9-inch diff in the back there.
And how have you found it to drive?
Yeah, no, it's just awesome to drive.
Stay tuned because after this we get to see these raging beasts unleash all their power. This We Know Cars segment is proudly brought to you by Autobarn.
I'd like to talk to you about shock absorbers and the purpose of the shock absorber. Within your vehicle's suspension, you have a main component being the spring. Now, the spring's job is to support the weight of that vehicle or the body and also determine the ride height. But you need to control that spring or the oscillations of the spring. And that's what the shock absorber's job is. Now, Munro have been producing shock absorbers since 1926, so they certainly know a thing or two about the product. They also supply a standard equipment to many new vehicle manufacturers on a worldwide scale. Now, Munro recommend that you should replace your shock absorbers at 80,000 kilometres because they start to lose their effectiveness. Now, there can be many negative effects with a worn shock absorber. More importantly, road holding can deteriorate to a point where it can actually be dangerous. You can see here the worn shock absorber virtually has nothing going on inside. It's absolutely worn out, no effectiveness. The new shock here, as you can see, has effectiveness. It has some resistance on compression and rebound, and you know it's going to control that spring. Effectively, you want to bounce on the car, and if it bounces or oscillates any more than 1.5 times, then your shock absorbers aren't doing their job. It's time for replacement. Now, one product that really impresses me in the Munro range is the GT Gas Reflex Shock Absorber. Reflex technology. It's amazing. Effectively, it gives you the best of both worlds for your vehicle. So let's have a closer look at Munro and, more importantly, Reflex technology.
All Munro products are manufactured to exacting standards. Their research and development program ensures the very best result available. Munro's state-of-the-art test facility can simulate thousands of kilometres of wear. In fact, far greater strains than could ever be expected in normal life. It's this passion for technology-driven safety that has made Munro Australia's most preferred brand of shock absorbers. They're at the cutting edge of automotive safety design. And now for the jewel in the crown. Traditionally, shock absorbers have been centred around a compromise of either a soft and comfortable ride or one that is firm and responsive. The Munro GT Gas with Reflex technology opened up a whole new world. It eliminates that need for a compromise, giving you the best of both worlds. Reflex's twin disc technology provides a solution where either comfort or firm responsive handling can be achieved depending on driving conditions.
The GT Gas Reflex range is available in early vehicles, Australian classics, 60s and 70s, right through to your modern day car. You'd be surprised, if you actually installed GT Gas Reflex into your current car, you would find a noticeable improvement in ride quality and handling. Feel free to head down to your local Autobarn store, speak to your friendly sales staff down there, and they'll advise you on a perfect Munro option for your car.
At Autobarn, we know cars. If you're looking for the ultimate in control, safety and a smooth ride, pick up a huge 15% saving on all Munro shock absorbers and struts. Save $20 on this 100 kilo garage creeper, only $39.99. For the best engine protection, choose from these Gulf Western big 6-litre bottles. Save $8 on each and pick up a bonus petrol injector cleaner valued at $10.99. Nava Ultima HID driving lights are just $499. Or light the way with these great Philips Glow Packs, Power Vision from $34.99 and Extreme Vision from $69.99.
And we can fit a wide range of products for you. Autobarn, we know how to get you there.
Well, nobody wants a little Willy unless it's a tractor like this one here. We're with Jack and Raymond Abraham with their beast, and they're both twins. How's it been going for you?
Pretty good lately. I picked up a first in the 770 class, and I picked up a first 2 weeks ago at Denny in the 770 class as well.
Fantastic. And how are you going driving the tractor?
I'm going pretty well. Last week at Denny I got a third in the 900 class, and then today here at Barmaidman I got in the 825 class first.
That's a really, really good result for you guys.
Yeah.
Tell us about the power plant.
It's a 318 Chrysler, makes 500 horsepower and I think 460 foot-pound of torque. It also runs a 727 torque flight transmission and a 9-inch diff.
Good stuff. So you've got a bit of Mopar stuff and a little bit of Ford down the rear end, but that's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Buck and Hal, That's what this tractor's called, and she certainly does buck. We're with Brian Brown here. Mate, tell us about this weapon.
It's about 30 years old now. Dad and Uncle built it back in about 82, 83. Uncle drove it for about 15, 17 years or thereabouts. I've been driving it for about 10 years.
Tell us about the power plant.
350 Chev. Just last season upgraded from a single plenum intake manifold to single 850 on it to our tunnel ramp set up now.
And it's quite a popular name, this name, actually. when it comes over the PA, when it's announced, people are like, what did they just say?
Story goes when Dad and Uncle were building it and all the swearing and carrying on that was involved in building it, and they turn around and say, all right, it's got to go.
They just put a B in it in front of it and they were safe. They got away with it.
Only just, though.
Tractor called Bare Knuckles, owned by Ray Pritchard here. Ray, tell us about this machine. She's certainly different.
She's got a Huey helicopter engine in it, a Lycoming 253 jet turbine. I'm the third driver of it in Australia, and no one's yet tamed it. She's a bit of a wild beast down the other end of the track and makes quick work of most drivers. I advertised for a picnic driver because we have a picnic, and didn't get any applications from the ones that have seen the videos.
No one's game enough, mate.
No, they reckon you have to have a decent set to drive it, but none of the blokes have got enough to have a go.
And I believe that, like with most of the jet-based engines, they tend to take a little while to come on, and then they come on like a house on fire. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, when it comes on, it's just out of control. It just burns the track, and yeah, just a wild beast.
Unbelievable. What sort of thrust would this engine have?
It actually has 500 more pounds of torque than a 605 Mack truck.
Amazing.
And yeah, it's somewhere around 1,400 horsepower, maybe out to 1,800.
Mate, you definitely sound the part.
Yeah, it's gonna. Always got to check which way the wind's going. Is a good thing with it, and if the wind's going the wrong way, people tend to get a bit warm.
Barbecued as such.
Barbecue, yeah. Well, they've all been wanting to put their hot plates on it, but I won't let them. I don't want the fat dripping down there.
G'day, my name's Rob Godfrey, and I use and recommend Aeroflow fittings, whether it be for show or go.
Hi, I'm Poe. This is my 7-second Supra. I use and recommend Aeroflow.
Hi, I'm Chris Palazzo.
And I'm Corbin Palazzo.
Show or go, we use Aeroflow.
I'm Mario Colillo. Mild or wild, I use Aeroflow.
Aeroflow, manufacturers of professional hose, fittings and a whole range of performance products to suit your vehicle. To download the latest Aeroflow catalogue, go to aeroflowperformance.com. Proud supporters of the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars. The Mopar Nationals at Heathcote Park Raceway, December 7th, 2013. It's a show, shine, swap and drag meet for all Chrysler makes and models. If it's tyre-smoking, drag racing Mopar action you want, then this is the event. For more info, go to heathcoteraceway.com.au. Well, you want serious horsepower? I think I've found it. This is Joe Cottam's Riverina Screamer. And Russell Loudon here's driving the vehicle this weekend, mate. Tell us about this absolute animal.
Well, it's 27 litres. It's twin turboed. The engines are virtually the same as what's in the Spitfire, the Merlin motor, but this one started life as a Meteor.
So we're talking a World War II sort of 1945 spec Spitfire fighter, a warbird.
Yeah, well, that's what the Merlin is, but this one's a Meteor. This actually came out of a tank.
This is a detuned tank version.
Yeah, well, it's an upgraded tank version, yeah.
It was detuned until you guys got to it.
Well, very much so, very much. But Joe wanted to run the twin turbos, see, so having the supercharger there, he wasn't worried about. See, so what it does, it actually puts 28 pound of boost in when the turbos light up. We use 8 litres of fuel, 2 litres of water in a run. That's just to keep the turbos cool. Yeah, so we're trying to get around the 2,500 horsepower out of it. Yeah, and besides that, I've really got it working well with the Motec fuel injection. The turbos, the new motor he's building is going to run it on methanol, so they're going to get rid of the radiator. So there's over 200 kilos in the radiator. So
That's a lot.
Yeah, and Joe's done a huge amount of work. He made all the quad cam gear to run because he found the cams out of the original ones, even the Merlins, weren't good enough to actually take the new valve springs he had to put in, because we're running 28 pound boost instead of about 14 pound like the aircrafts used to run. So Joe had to spec it all up, and when he went to such heavy valve springs, he actually had to go to better cams and all that sort of thing, because he just destroyed those cams.
So just put modern technology into it. I mean, we all know that turbochargers are much more efficient than superchargers.
Oh,
you lose a lot of power driving the supercharger.
Oh yes. Well, he had an email from a man in the States flying Mustangs, and he reckoned he was getting 2,000 horsepower at the prop, and he was taking nearly 700 horsepower to run the superchargers.
Wow.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Now, this bird, well, she gets up and really has a go when she wants to.
Well, the sun's gone down, the air temperature's dropped, and we all know what that means, don't we? More horsepower, especially with forced induction, even naturally aspirated. You'll see horsepower gains like you wouldn't believe, and the track surface is now absolutely perfect. We've run out of time this week to bring you the night action here at Barn Medman, so next week we'll bring you some highlights of these beasts tearing it up under lights. Then we're off to Kyneton, Victoria to check out some insane action at Torque Off-Road Racing Buggies. We'll see you next week on Man and Machine. But damn, that was good fun. Man and Machine is brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.